Okay, so recently this post over here has been made by a guy who goes by the name Tis6000, where essentially he compares the longest active careers of players currently in the NHL. Now you might be asking yourself, well, why is this important? And what defines a great player is not just your ability to put up tons of points and goals, but it's also the length of your career as a whole and how long you could continue to play at that top level. If you hop over here on the Hockey Hall of Fame database and you look up any player profile, you will see that 90+% of these guys have played in the NHL for a very long time. Alright, so we're going to start off here by hopping into the bottom 5 of this list. And on this list, you got, at number 10, you got Steven Stamkos. Then you got Chris Letang, Jamie Benn, Evgeny Malkin, and of course Nicholas Backstrom. I'm pretty sure most NHL fans would know pretty much all these guys, having played over 1,000 games in the NHL. And definitely some Hall of Famers on this list over here, and pretty much everybody here won a Stanley Cup so far except for Ben. So now you may be wondering, who's the top 5? And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down the list one by one. There's kind of a dead giveaway here on the right side. But yeah, for the top 5, I know pretty much everybody except for one player. So hopping into number 5 here, you got Drew Doughty, an absolute legend in this sport. Just look at him losing his mind over here. And honestly, if you could get inducted into the Hall of Fame for chirping alone, I'm sure he would be at the top of this list.
You sucked at hockey. Have you been in the minors for how long? How long? And you're still on the 4th line.
Alright, so coming in at number 4 here, an absolute legend in the sport, Sidney Crosby, with over 1,200 games played. I mean, he came into the NHL in 2005, and he's just been the biggest rivalry with Alex Ovechkin for over a decade now. I mean, if you look at his stats over time in his career, they're just absolutely ridiculous. And the best part is he continues to prove himself on a daily basis in the league, and he's still having a really good season, which is just insane. Next over here on the list, you have a guy who goes by the name Mark Eduardo Vlasic. I mean, I don't really know him too well, to be honest. This is the only guy that I'm not too familiar with on this list, but people seem to be chirping this guy. I mean, even the moderator said, not sure why Vlasic always surprises me on these types of graphs, but he does. And then another guy replied and said, well, pickles have a great shelf life. He's the only other guy on this list to have not won a Stanley Cup yet. However, if you look at the amount of time he spent in the league, it's just absolutely insane. And, whatever you guys want to call him, a pickle or whatnot, he's had a successful career in the league. Coming in at number 2 here, you got, of course, Anze Kopitar with over 1,300 games played in the NHL. I mean, I just watched an NHL game the other night, and I was thinking, holy, this guy is still in the league. It's pretty crazy to say, but being 36 years old and still putting up, look at this, 34 points in 33 games, that's just insane. And just shows the kind of durability this guy has. Next over here we got, of course, none other than the Great 8 Alex Ovechkin. I'm sure none of you guys are surprised by him being on this list with almost 1,400 games played in the NHL, arguably the greatest one-timer of all time, and he's the only other guy on this list that's, in the runs for chasing Wayne Gretzky's all-time scoring record. Anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like down below and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.